I'd like to show you how to replace the glass on this all-wood older Marvin window. For over 3 decades, Marvin has glazed this window in the same manner. I want to show you how to replace single glass, also known as SSB glass or DSB glass, and insulated glass. I want to show you how to replace both of them, and be sure to use all safety gear and all safety equipment for this, because this could be dangerous. So let's get started. To my recollection, Marvin always glazed these from the exterior. And even though you may not be able to see them, especially with years of paint, if you take a magnet and put it along this glazing bead here, the magnet will stick to where there's a staple. So 100% for sure, you know this was glazed from the exterior. The same way they used to use on this really old window. This used to be putty. You used to use glazing putty to hold the glass in. So the glass was always removed from the exterior and put on from the exterior, and then you would put this putty on. So the first thing to do is to find this line. Go ahead and take a utility knife. Of course, if you have years of paint, you're gonna have to find this line and just run a putty knife to score these paint lines, because you wanna be able to reuse these glazing stops. If you cannot get these glazing stops through Marvin, or if you cannot find any, you can make some up out of wood, or go to a Home Depot or a Lowe's or something and find some trim that resembles it, and then you can replace it with that. So now that we got all those lines scored, go ahead and take a rounded putty knife and put it between the glass and the wood. And be prepared for the glass to shatter, because when you're putting your knife in there, it puts a lot of stress on this glass, so be very mindful of that. Try to do several passes, and you only need to go in that far. You don't need to shove your putty knife all the way through it. You just need to go thick enough to cut the sealant between the wood and the glass. Meant to do that. Okay, now that we got all of our sealant cut, I would recommend that you get a thick, stiffened putty knife that has been sharpened, and or a flat bar that has been sharpened. And you're gonna put that in this groove here. I'm gonna start by taking this putty knife in here, since it's thinner, kind of get it started. And you may feel the staples in there, and then push down on it like that. Then you can take your stiffened, sharpened putty knife, and you can gently, constant steady pressure, that way you can reuse these, or you can make new ones if you want. Constant steady pressure, be real gentle. You get them out in one piece, just like that. And this is what that wood looks like if you needed to make your own, or find something similar at a hardware store, or you could order them through Marvin. Now that we got all those stops removed, let's go ahead and take some nail pullers, and we'll go ahead and pull out any staples that are in there. Be sure to protect your wood. Now that we got all the staples out, I would recommend you take your putty knife just to cut any sealant that may have squeezed out from the factory, and go around the perimeter of the glass. And be special mindful, if this is tempered glass, not to hit the edge of the glass, because you can shatter the glass. Now we'll go to the other side and cut the glass out. Okay, we'll go ahead and take our putty knife, put it between the sash and the wood. Do little passes. Try not to shove it all the way in all at once. Just work our way around it slowly. And you don't have to go all the way deep. You can just do several little passes until you can get it all the way in. Okay, now that we got that broken free, constant steady pressure. Try not to press it too hard. Just like that. Of course, you should be wearing gloves. Constant steady pressure, just let it pull right out. Just like that. Now that we have the glass removed, go ahead and take a sharpened putty knife and clean up any excess silicone around here. It doesn't have to be perfect. You just want to get the bulk of the old stuff out. You want to make sure that the new glass is going to sit nice and flush. So the next thing to do is go ahead and prep the stops. Since I'm reusing these, I already had and labeled them when I took them off. So if there's still any remaining staples, go ahead and pull those out. It's always best to pull them through, in my opinion. Take that same sharpened putty knife, go along the edge here where the silicone was and where we took the putty knife, Clean that off. If there's any things like that, that's okay. And then where you pull the staples through, get those flat as well. They'll sit better if you do that. Now we'll take our Dow 1199 or Dow 791 in beige, and we're going to go ahead and put that around there. Take our brand new piece of glass that we have, we'll go ahead and set that in there. And we'll push all the way around so we have plenty of squeeze out. We don't want to see any bare wood. Now with our glass in, we'll go ahead and take another bead, put it along the glass, the very bottom edge. I always do the shortest ones first. Nice and tight. Make sure we get a little squeeze out there. Okay, I got some 1/4 inch crown, 18 gauge staples I'm going to use to put those in. And you're going to have to find a stapler that has a real flat area. Be careful not to go like this when shooting your nails because you'll break the glass, and try not to go too far like that because obviously you'll have a blowout. On something this small, we don't need too many. Ooh, I got real close to the glass there. I need to be careful on that. Okay, now I got some isopropyl alcohol and some water mix. I'm going to spray that. I'm going to use a little squeegee to clean up any of this wet silicone. Now that we got that done, we'll go ahead and on the inside and clean the inside. Okay, now that we got all that cleaned up, we can go ahead and caulk and fill into these holes and repaint it if we have to. To replace the insulated glass, it's the exact same process as the single glass that I just showed you. The only difference is when you shoot the nails in, when you put in the stop, you got to put it in this groove here. The stop comes off in the same spot, but when you put your staples in there, it goes through like that. You're going to have a stapler where you can shoot the staple through the top. So you can get really close and get in this groove like that. You need to be very mindful of not to have your gun like this because you'll blow out the wood this way, which I've done several times. And you need to be mindful of not to shoot too far this way because you can hit your glass, which I have done. So usually just like this, in that groove, all the way around, that's all you need to do. So good luck. Well, there you have it. That's how I reglaze this older Marvin window. And if you found this video informative, please consider hitting the subscribe button below. Thank you for watching and have a great day.